Hi, it's Jay Green. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give you a little update regarding trends and what's going on in the California real estate market, primarily in the residential sector, because that's primarily where I do most of my business. As realtors, as lenders, as developers, as industry professionals, whether you're working with buyers or sellers, or you're a seller or buyer considering making moves in today's market of 2023, July of 2023, you need to know what's going on in the market to stay apprised, to make the right decisions so you stay out of trouble and you maximize your investments and financial decisions regarding California real estate. So right now it's July 2023 and we still have a very tight availability of housing units. The inventory is very, very low. And that puts a lot of pressure. That's kind of what's propping up our California market. We have a very unique California market. California is very unique compared to other parts of the nation, primarily to do with our climate and our robust economy. You may not agree, and I don't always agree with the politics and the way this state is run. However, our real estate market is very unique and there still is a very high demand for California real estate. You have a lot of sellers that don't want to sell because they have a lot of equity in their property and they may have some great interest rates. And if they decide to sell right now, they're going to have to buy another property and pay higher interest rates. Right now, the average 30-year fixed mortgage is right around 7%. We've seen a huge increase in interest rates. I don't need to tell you that. We were right around 3%, about a year ago, 2 years ago. Rates were amazingly historically low, and they went up as the Federal Reserve increased the federal discount rate, thereby raising interest rates for everything. For buyers and property owners refinancing or buying a property, they're having a correspondingly high mortgage payment. It's impacting me as an investor, borrowing money, building apartments and ADUs and borrowing money. I'm paying higher interest rates as well, and it impacts the economics of the decisions I make. So where are interest rates going to be headed? The Federal Reserve did adjust upward their projections this year. They initially for this year were setting their adjustment to 5.1% for the federal discount rate. They now raised it to 5.6. We've seen a couple adjustments this year of 2023. You may see another one or two adjustments this year as the Federal Reserve just isn't happy, trying to, fight inflation. That's the primary reason. They try to keep the inflationary rate down at about 2%. And we're at a much higher rate. They say 8%, but really, actually, we are at a much higher inflationary rate. Everything costs more. Essentials, utilities, interest rates, gasoline. Just to live in the state of California and nationally and throughout the world, everything costs more. Hopefully the Federal Reserve doesn't raise interest rates too much, but anticipate a possible increase in rates additionally this year until we get into next year of 2024 and we're heading into more of election periods where politicians and the Federal Reserve don't want to keep rates as low as possible. So maybe next year, the following year, you see rates come back down again. But right now, rates are around 7%. So this is impacting buyers and their decision to buy real estate, or homeowners or investors. Affordability for the buyer, the California buyer, trying to buy the median house price. The median house price right now is $737,000. Last year it was about $830,000. Even though values have dropped since last year, that median house price is only affordable to about 20% of California households. So, and that number is anticipated to drop to maybe like 19 or 18% affordability. So with that being said, it does make a lot of buyers take pause, decide if they're going to participate and buy a house in California. Some people are leaving the state to seek more affordable living standards, cost of living, lower interest rates, and lower real estate costs. We are in a very unique market that our economy is very strong. We have a lot of jobs. We create a lot of income. And even though politicians do a lot of things to drive a lot of these costs up, living costs, taxes, gasoline, everything, utilities, insurance costs, everything's higher in California. We do have a robust economy and a lot of employers in the state to offset these crazy policies. Unemployment throughout the United States and in California is relatively low. And that is one of the positive factors that is, keeping buyers employed so they can go out and buy, those qualified California residents can go out and buy a house. Sales in California have slowed down. As of up till about May of this year, we only sold about 26,000 housing units in California. This time last year, we sold almost 34,000 houses. So less houses have been sold, primarily because of higher interest rates, tighter supply. A lot of sellers are reluctant to sell their properties because they have a lot of equity. If they leave, if they move, they're gonna have to go pay a higher interest rate elsewhere. Reluctant sellers, that is, also kind of tightening or keeping the supply of available houses on the market for buyers. I talk to a lot of realtors. I am building and flipping, and I also am a seller. So I have my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the market. We only have about a 2.6 month supply of houses. In a healthy market, we should be between 5 and 6 months of available inventory. You haven't seen a lot of brand new houses come on the market due to increased construction and interest rate cost and availability of land, and also the entitlement process and getting your plans approved in the state of California is also a very rigorous and challenging endeavor. So that does also restrict the supply of brand new housing units into the market. The California Association of Realtors projected that you would see about a 7% drop in the median house price in 2023. We'll have yet to see if that comes to fruition. In the last 5 years in California, we had a run up of about 41% in values. That is a huge run up. So we saw this huge spike in values driven by historically low interest rates, very tight inventory. From COVID, that really, black swan event occurring, forcing people to stay at home, and people not to sell real estate, not to transact real estate so much. Values are still very high, with the median house price being at $737, but I don't know if you're gonna see a crash or a huge drop in values anytime soon. Unless you see people becoming unemployed, you see a lot more people leaving the state, which they are, but there's still millions of people that live in California and want to remain here because of our wonderful opportunities and climate. I was born in California. I love California. I have no intention on leaving this state. I'm going to be one of the last conservative people remaining in the state of California. Are we in a seller's market? Are we in a buyer's market? It depends on the submarket. Are you in Whittier? Are you in Beverly Hills? Are you in Newport Beach? Are you in the desert? Are you in Northern California? Are you in the Silicon Valley? It depends where the property is located and the price points, because different dynamics are occurring in different markets. So more affordable price points, you have a lot more competition, and actually it's some of the higher end, depending on where they're located, that market is still doing relatively good. So I wouldn't say it's right now either a buyer's or a seller's market. Last year, I thought we were heading into more of a buyer's market. I thought we were gonna have like this flood of new inventory, more foreclosures from people that couldn't rent out their properties and fell behind during COVID, but we haven't seen a lot of foreclosures. They're increasing, but not bringing on a huge amount of inventory to the market. As a private lender, as a broker, as a flipper, and now developing apartment buildings, I need to stay abreast of where the market's going. There are some good opportunities in California, even though it's not always fun to live here because of the high cost of living and the high utility costs and everything being so much higher. But we still have this beautiful climate. I don't think you're gonna see this huge market crash. So buyers that are waiting for that to happen, I think you're gonna be waiting a long time. Huge student debts, we have increased consumer debts, people are living on credit cards, people are having a hard time getting by. But I'm talking about the California real estate market. A lot of people wanna live here, people are still coming here. People want to remain here and build their lives in California. So the demand for real estate in California, there's still tons of employers. Even though some employers have elected to operate their businesses in other states, there's still a lot of employers and a lot of money that is coming out of California to, employ people and create the demand for real estate and to live in the state of California. I hope you found this information helpful, maybe giving you a little, insight, new information to make decisions on buying or selling or developing real estate or refinancing. I'm excited about opportunities in California to build ADUs. ADUs are accessory dwelling units. So that would be like someone that converts their garage to a living quarters. And now that can be done legally. Sacramento and policymakers have loosened and created more lax ADU guidelines. So I'm excited. I'm building lots of ADUs. Right now I'm building a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 830 square foot ADU in Whittier. I'm spending about $150,000 to build the whole thing, but it's almost like a freestanding unit. I have a 1,000 square foot house next to it. Now I have this 830 square foot house that I'm spending about $150, but I can rent it out for about $2,900. So what you spend on an ADU in relation to the income you can generate, it's a no-brainer. They're great endeavors. I'm building apartments with ADUs. So if you're a property owner and you're looking to generate more income, increase your property's value, you may want to consider building an ADU. So anyways, just wanted to touch upon some market trends, what's going on in July of 2023 here in California. And again, if you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so I can continue. You'll be notified when I post other videos like this. Anyways, thanks very much. Wish you luck out there with your buying and selling and real estate investing.